Wyatt looks like he is back a little bit. Colby Wooden looks like he got through okay. If you have all those guys, and you can mix guys in and out, how much does that help your
Yeah,
running?
it helps a lot. It's interesting. I thought you brought up the general, or someone asked me about the general last week. Well, the general went out early in that game, and we had to move some pieces around. And I think D. Wyatt just coming back from his injury, and we were a little off. I felt like we were a little bit off in our details, and obviously that starts with coaching. I am really one to believe, especially now after being back in this for 2 years, the development of your players and how important coaching is and fundamentals is so important, so that when other players have to go in, it's our job to make sure that we don't have a drop off. And I don't think we did a very good job there in that game, truthfully. So we need to do a better job there, and then we need to execute better. I think it showed you how much of an impact player Colby is. And I certainly expect him to be ready to go again. And I think DY just getting back into the swing of things, I anticipate him taking a big step this week. He's had a really good week of practice. But then at the same time, whether it's Stackhouse or Carl or Brinson, we got to do a good job on the inside. Those guys got to take away space. They got to get off blocks. They got to line up. And I have confidence in them and in our coaches that we'll get it better, because it's been good for us this year, and it wasn't good enough, in the game. And, that's not all on the D-line. I mean, there was a big run, their biggest run of the day. I mean, we blitzed into a toss, and I think they had 30 yards on it. I mean, that's one that you wouldn't even card up in practice, or if we were doing it against Matt in practice, he would tell me that I knew the play was coming and I was cheating, So sometimes that stuff does happen, and we got to make sure we eliminate those. But, it starts with us coaching and getting the next guys ready, and we'll do a better job going forward.
I will ask about the tush push. Only
Okay.
in that.
I can't. I'm just joking. Go ahead. It's fair.
You get the schedule in April or May, whenever the heck you get the schedule. Do you start thinking of, well, actually, you knew they were playing the Eagles long before that. So are you thinking about ways to possibly stop the tush push way back in the spring, or is it, how does that process start with you?
That's a fair question. No, probably not that early. But what you start to do is, when you start to see crossover tape and you start to see other people run it, you start to save those clips and try to figure out who's doing it best, and are there ways that people have stopped it, and then, or what you're seeing, or there are other things you can think of outside the box to stop it, right? Which is really hard to do. I mean, I think the success rate is incredible, and they've done such a good job mastering it. But you can't just go into the game and say, I mean, we don't have a plan, so we have to have a plan. And I think looking at other ways that teams have tried to defend it, we've gotten other ideas, and we have some outside the box ideas, and we're going to try our best to stay out of that situation. But if we get into it, then we have a plan, and we'll try to execute it. We stopped it one time last year, but then it was third down, so then we had to stop it again on the fourth down. And then last year in the playoff game, they lined up in it and they tried to take a deep shot, and we stopped that, and they came back on the next play and they ran it again. So we got to coach it. We got to find a way to stop it, and our players got to execute it.
Jeff, how much is that helping though? Like, if you look at their numbers from 23 to last year to this year, they are converting it less than they did before. It's still like 76% or something, but is it really helpful, even with different people, to be able to see what other teams have done successfully?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that goes with any play. Like, so when we watch tape, when you're studying tape and a team runs a play over and over and over and over again, you often look to see who has success against it and why. And if there's something that we do that's similar, we might implement it, or maybe we steal an idea, right? So yeah, absolutely. The more it's on tape, I still think physically it's a hard play to stop, and they do the best job of it. So whether it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, we got to try to stay out of those situations. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear, and it's kind of coach talk, but that's the best way to stop it. They got a great offensive line and a really strong quarterback and big guys pushing. So I know people will be excited to see it. Hopefully we won't be in those situations much.
Carl Brooks said maybe they'll run it the first play since you guys were the team that tried to ban it. Are you prepared for that?
I thought we weren't going to talk about the tush push. This whole
Only three questions.
that's three. This whole thing got turned into it. I don't know if they're gonna. No, I can't imagine that that's what they're gonna do. I didn't even think about that. So now you gave me another thought. Thanks. Now that's when I'm gonna go home later tonight and start dreaming about the first play of the game. I'll tell you. All right. So here, final time. Anybody else have questions about the tush push? You sure? I'll take them. You got one more?
No.
All right.
So, can I ask something else then?
You can ask whatever you want.
I feel like usually, I was saying this to X, I feel like at this point in the season, usually you have a pretty good idea of how good you are. Obviously, there's more growth in front of you every year, but like, do you have a good handle on just how good your defense is and what you guys are really good at? Or are you still trying to kind of figure out this year's group?
I think based on the personnel that we have in right now and who's available, I think we're figuring it out. I have an idea of what we're really good at, what our strengths and weaknesses are, and what I think we still need to work on. I do think, though, that it's our job to evolve as we go, and by the end of the year be playing our best ball, and you kind of consolidate as you add and subtract. Do I think we're there yet? No, I don't. Do I think we're playing our best football yet? No, I don't. I think we need to be more consistent. I think we have times when we are playing at a really, really high level. I think our guys are playing really hard. I think fundamentally they're playing really well. I think we're playing clean for the most part. There's not, knock on wood, there's not a lot of bust and just free guys running all over the place. But I think that's the beautiful thing about playing defense. You keep getting better and evolving, and hopefully you're peaking at the right time. And I don't think we're there yet. But I do think our guys are doing a really, really good job. I mean, even in that last game, there's definitely disappointing plays and things that I wish I had done better, and I'm sure the players would say the same thing. But there's also some really good moments in that game as well. But ultimately, our goal is to win, so we failed in that regard.
Is it hard to bring a safety up into the box against the Eagles just because of their wide receivers? Is there a big risk factor there? Or
Depends what coverage you're playing behind it. I mean, so are you going to drop a guy in and replace him? Or are you just, like, if you're talking about, like getting to an 8-man front with your corners out on an island and one guy in the middle of the field, you got to pick and choose. I mean, yeah, I think that can be hard when you have the receivers that they do and the tight end they do and the running back they do and the quarterback who can throw the ball like he can and their O-line. You got to pick and choose your moments. And I'm going to have to call a really good game and put us in good situations. And when I think they're going to run the ball or I think they're going to throw the ball. And, I mean, that's hard to do because they can mix it up too. But we definitely have to have the ability to do both and mix it up and disguise. And, I just think this Monday Night Football against, the Super Bowl champs with all those good players, I mean, what an awesome opportunity for us as a team, as a defense, as coaches. I mean, I'm excited for the challenge. It was a challenge last year in the playoff game. I thought our guys did a really nice job for the most part in that game. And, we're excited for the challenge ahead on that.
Along those lines, until Barkley broke that one late, he did do a good job against him. What does it take to kind of limit him over the course of the game?
It's going to take our whole team. I believe run defense is, and maybe I can simplify this a little bit, playing good run defense is about, guys doing their job as a front together, as a back end together, but it's about staying square. It's about taking away space, okay? It's about guys not turning their shoulders and running up the field and not doing their job, because if one guy does that, this back is good enough to hit a crease and go and be gone, like he kind of was at the end of the game on that one when it was 4-minute mode and we were kind of being ultra aggressive, right? But you have to take away space. And to do that, guys got to play square and they got to use their hands and they got to stay in their gaps. And then at the same time, they got to be ready to tear off blocks together and make plays. And you want to make the running back stutter his feet, right? And not just give him a vertical charge. You want to make him hesitate a little bit so then we can use our speed and go after him and go get him. And that's hard to do every play because they're so big and strong up front, where it's going to take phenomenal effort and technique and fundamentals and the details, which I thought we were kind of off a little bit last week, which maybe woke us up a little bit to how detailed we're going to have to be in this game to play against them, this back and this offensive line. But staying square, getting off blocks, taking away space, make the running back stop and start his feet, setting the edges, right? Because if this back does get an edge and you don't make him stop his feet, he's gone. I mean, he's the premier running back in this league. So it's going to take a team effort, detail, good coaching. But what an awesome challenge ahead of us to try to do it again against the Super Bowl champs.
Jeff, there's a lot made of that coaches say about adjusting and being prepared, and you can say expecting the unexpected. For you, how do you prepare for that process of you might get an unscouted look? Is it a separate play sheet, or just what is your process?
I mean, every week we get unscouted looks, and I'm sure you're talking about the fact that they've had a bye week and time to look at themselves and maybe recreate some stuff. I mean, every week you get unscouted looks. You'll get, especially the way teams are trying to protect against us right now. What I've learned is you got to be on your toes because there's going to be a Micah Parsons plan, which we've talked about. But then in the run game, we might get a new wrinkle. In the pass game, we might get a new wrinkle. You got to see it really fast through the course of the game, which is personally why I like being up there, because I believe I can see it, we can talk, and then we can adjust so it doesn't hit you again, right? And you kind of don't give up explosive plays if you can get on top of that so they can't just catch you in something. But that's football right now. I think coaches have gotten to the point where, they're adjusting throughout the game, and there's some stuff that pops out in the second half or even earlier than that you just have to be ready for. There's some tendencies maybe that usually you'd go off of, but then because of the extra time in the bye week, you could say, ooh, I got a great tendency here, but now it's the bye week, so they probably spent more time self-scouting themselves to correct those tendencies. So you got to be a little bit careful there. But you just got to be prepared each series to stay on top of it.
With Hurts kind of runs hot and cold. He has, but I mean, the last couple of games, I think it's 7 touchdowns and 9 incompletions. What have you seen from their passing game here of late?
And you've probably seen the same. I think they've done a good job of opening up their pass game more this year than last year. And that's not a shot at anything that went on last year. Clearly, they were the best team in the NFL. I think their playbook has expanded in their pass game. I think they're doing more. He's spreading the ball out. He's using the back out of the backfield. What I do see, he's throwing on time, and he's getting rid of the ball fairly quickly. And then when he doesn't do that, you see what he does really well. He retreats in the pocket, he runs around, he makes plays with his feet, but he keeps his eyes down the field and he looks to take shots and hit explosives. The biggest thing I've seen, I feel like he has a really good feel right now of where to go early in the down, and the ball's coming out with better timing and rhythm than it did last year. That's probably the biggest change.
I know you enjoy having that camera in the box on your face. Did you?
Do you think I enjoy that?
No, I'm being facetious.
Do you know what? I never know when it's on.
They should put a light on there for you.
Yeah, so I never know when it's on, and there's always a different angle. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here. This week, it was like right in front of me, so I was like trying to dodge the camera to see the field at sometimes. So we got to make an adjustment there.
Did I?
I'm not even joking.
I understand. That wasn't my question.
Okay,
Throw a
but what do
towel
you
or something over
say it again?
it? Can't you throw a towel or something?
I think
over it?
I had a Coke can over at one time and I got in trouble, so I got to be careful. But I'm not even. It's a good reminder because I need to talk to them. I'm all for the camera. I respect that they want to do what they do, but I have to be able to see the field, right? That should be fair. What do you got?
Well, I was just wondering, did you kick RD downstairs? Is he not up
Kick
there with
him?
you?
I didn't kick him downstairs. RD, yeah. How'd you notice that?
Because they showed you and he wasn't sitting next to you. He's almost always sitting next to
Maybe he was using the bathroom or something.
you. Perhaps. Was he? Or
No, you're good. I can't believe that's impressive. Yes, he's down on the field now. Would you like to know why?
I would.
Okay, I figured that was your second part. And does that count as the last question? So we were in one of our away games recently. There wasn't room for him, and I'm not joking. So this is all right. So here's more insight into the coaching world. There's some booths that are really small, so we all can't fit up there. So then we have to decide who goes down, right? So RD and I talked, and he was the guy who drew the you're going down, but it really wasn't for that reason. It was okay. I feel like we can get everything accomplished if he does go down. So we went down for that game. I think it was 3 weeks ago, and we really liked it. And I thought it was really helpful. So we decided to keep him down.
Arizona or Pittsburgh?
It was Arizona for sure. He was down in Arizona. That's where it would have started because that was the smallest box. And then we decided to keep him down in Pittsburgh, and then we talked again and we liked it, so we set him back down. Impressive that you saw that. Yeah. So he is down now. But that's the reason. It wasn't like, man, you're annoying me up here or anything. It was, he did a really good job and he couldn't fit, so we didn't have a choice.
If we could do that for people who are annoying, it'd be an empty press box.
Yeah,
Sorry, Rob.
you guys have more space than we do. Some of them are tight. So I think so just about all the guys are down there now. You know?
You got too many coaches, that's a problem.
Well, we got a lot of offensive guys up in the box. Not many defense anymore. Anybody else got anything?
You know, you spent all of the offseason talking about takeaways, and here you are, you're 31st. But you've had a couple here and there. Do you feel like you're making some headway there, or is it still a major concern for you?
No, we've had 3 takeaways in the last 3 games, so we're trending in the right direction. The other thing is, if you look back in the last 3 games, is we had the one that went under review, so we were closer there, right? The one on Keyshawn when he almost took the ball away. I believe that might have been the Arizona game. And then last week we had had the sack fumble, and they recovered it for a 6-yard gain. If you remember that one, yeah, me too. And so we're getting closer, and I can look you in the eye and tell you that we are getting closer. We've had a takeaway in the last 3 games, and that's the step in the right direction. And I think if we continue to do that and hit them at the right time, I think it's going to help us out a lot. The impressive part is, you know, last year at this time I thought we were playing good defense, you know, and I think we relied a lot on takeaways to hold people under 20 points or however many we were doing. This year we're doing that and probably playing better defense, and we're not getting as many takeaways. So if we can continue and climb and get better just fundamentally in playing defense and add those takeaways, I think you're going to see a really dominant defense as we go, and that's the plan. But I see progress towards it, and I think our coaches are doing a really nice job emphasizing it. And I think we're starting to throw punches again, and I think we're getting more competitive. I think our corners in the last 2 games have been really competitive on routes, because even, you know, now I'm thinking again, even their biggest pass of the day, CV was right there. And I mean right there. Like, I kind of jumped up in the booth. You probably didn't see it because you were looking for Downard. But he was right there, and that's like, we're close. So he's going to make that play the next time. So I am encouraged. I'm not happy with the number at all, but I'm encouraged in the way we're trending.